Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it'll be another profitable day for you. Thursday, September 28th, Major League Baseball slate. Just a reminder, 4 teams we fade or follow: Cubs, Dodgers, Blue Jays, Royals. The Royals game that did get suspended yesterday carries over to today. So we have not... So those bets will continue over from yesterday. Unfortunately for us, we're down in 4-hole early, but we do have a Royals game later today. Cole Reagans is pitching in that particular matchup. This better be the game that they're going to get, because the Tigers have made them look like chump change so far. But there's not a lot out for that particular game, but we'll give you what we got so far. Royals money line -1.5, 2.5, and 3.5. Even though they are a slight dog, we're going to roll on the favorite side today. Royals over 3.5 team total, and then Royals money line first 3, 5, and 7 innings. So just to give you those again for the Reagans game for the Royals Tigers: Royals money line -1.5, 2.5, 3.5 on the run line, over 3.5 team total for the Royals, and Royals money line first 3, 5, and 7 innings. No batter or pitcher props available currently on that one, so we'll stay away from those at the moment. Next game up for us is going to be Blue Jays Yankees. Blue Jays have scored a whopping 0 runs in the first 2 games of this series. Not a shocker. Anytime they go against good pitching, the bats shut down because they hit into way too many ground balls and strikeouts. It's just the way it goes. Unless you're placing those perfectly on the ground balls, it never ends up well. Vlad Guerrero is one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen, and for some reason, he hits more ground balls than I've ever seen in my life. Normally, big dudes hit fly balls. He hits a lot of ground balls. So, anyway, Yankees, Blue Jays, like I mentioned, Luke Weaver, Chris Bassett. Obviously, the Blue Jays are going to be a pretty sizable favorite going against Weaver, and we think they're going to wake up today. So, we are going to take Blue Jays money line -1.5, 2.5, 3.5 on the run line. Blue Jays over a 4.5 team total against Weaver. That is a pretty low number. So normally, anytime Weaver's pitched, it's been 5.5 for most teams. So Blue Jays -0.5 a run, first 3, 5, and 7 innings as well. Bichette, Springer, Guerrero over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Yes, that number's high, but they are pitching Weaver. I just, they're all at the top of the lineup, so you hope they just get 3 hits consecutively, and then those bets tend to work out. So Bichette, Springer, Guerrero over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Bichette, Springer, Guerrero over 1.5 total bases. Bichette, Springer, Guerrero double. Bichette, Springer, Guerrero home run. And Bichette, Springer, Guerrero 2+ hits. Blue Jays are realistically, you can score 0 runs when you're in a playoff race. I don't think they're going to lose out the playoff race. It looks like they kind of think that they're going to be in on that one, due to the fact that the Astros and Mariners were beating each other up. You know what? If they don't win a couple games on the way out, they could be in danger. So we will just run through that line one more time for you on the Blue Jays Yankees. Blue Jays money line -1.5, 2.5, 3.5 on the run line. Blue Jays over 4.5 team total. Blue Jays -0.5 a run, first 3, 5, and 7 innings. Bichette, Springer, Guerrero over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Bichette, Springer, Guerrero over 1.5 total bases. Bichette, Springer, Guerrero double. Bichette, Springer, Guerrero home run. And Bichette, Springer, Guerrero 2+ hits. Sorry if I ran through that one. If you're definitely looking for bets on the Blue Jays and Yankees, it's just that series has been so ugly. The less time we can spend on it, the better, to put it mildly. Next game up for us, Cubs, Braves. The Cubs absolutely embarrassed themselves the first 2 games. And it's been the bullpen and the offense not continuing to add on runs, knowing that bullpen is so shaky at best. They can barely get you an out, let alone 12. And we got Stroman pitching today, which means you're even more at risk. The Braves have come back to win in the 9th or extra the first 2 games of the series because that bullpen is horrible. Horrible. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, Mr. Bellinger, Swanson, Suzuki, you guys are going to need to hit multiple hits and multiple rallies in order to beat this Braves team, because you can't outpitch them, and their pitching has not been good, and you still can't outpitch them. So my suggestion is going to be score 10, and maybe you got a chance. It's been sick. If the Cubs miss the playoffs on a season at the start of it where we thought, they don't really have a playoff chance because we didn't think Bellinger was going to put much of it together, and the pitching staff looked shaky at best. You guys need to, seriously, you're going to face the Brewers, who would like nothing better than knock you out and play the Marlins the first round. Because they're already locked in. They're locked into the 3. They're going to face the 6, which is going to be either the Cubs or the Marlins, the way it looks, right? So why wouldn't they want to knock the Cubs out, who have the better bats probably overall? I don't know. The Marlins, in my opinion, got some really good bats, and they got a lot more home run pop than they do. And the Brewers have been playing some of the best baseball out of anybody as of late. If you really look at their September record, it's pretty outstanding what they put together, especially runs scored wise. But yeah, it's a shame. 100-run differential in baseball means you're in the playoffs, and the Cubs are going to somehow figure out a way to foobar that up. At least it looks that way. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Cubs can muster it together and get some wins on this one, but they're going to need one today. So they got definitely, they got a pitching advantage at the start of the rotation. I mean, the Dodgers have wrapped up home field, not the Dodgers. The Braves have wrapped up home field advantage for the National League. Two more wins, and they got it for the whole Major League. So, but we will be rolling with the Cubs today as a slight dog with Stroman pitching. Stroman pitching against Smith-Schwarber for the Braves. So Cubs money line +1.5, +2.5, -1.5, -2.5 on the run line. Cubs over 4.5 team total. Cubs +0.5 run, first 3, first 5, first 7 innings. Bellinger, Swanson, Suzuki over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Bellinger, Swanson, Suzuki over 1.5 total bases. Bellinger, Swanson, Suzuki double. Bellinger, Swanson, Suzuki home run. Bellinger, Swanson, Suzuki 2+ hits. So the top of the lineup, Tauchman has hits a homer yesterday. Ian Happ hits a homer yesterday, and somehow they still don't win. Normally they crush those games when the top of the lineup hits. So that's how bad the back of the bullpen has looked. But Cubs money line +1.5, +2.5 on the run line, -1.5, -2.5 on the run line as well. Cubs over 4.5 team total. Cubs +0.5, first 3, 5, and 7 innings, which they've won all the 3rd, 5th, and 7th innings. They've won all of those. The first 2 games, they just can't hold it past that. Bellinger, Swanson, Suzuki over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Bellinger, Swanson, Suzuki over 1.5 total bases. Bellinger, Swanson, Suzuki double. Bellinger, Swanson, Suzuki home run. Bellinger, Swanson, Suzuki 2+ hits. Last game of the day for us is going to be Dodgers-Rockies. Besides game 1 of the doubleheader on Tuesday for the Dodgers, the series has went exactly how we expected, which is Dodgers win 8-2+ every game. So that's why I will tell you. I mean, it's normally you're betting -3.5 and you're getting +250 and up, and you're barely getting over +100. You're barely getting more than even money on it. Winning by 4 runs. So, but that's the way it's went in this series. We expect it to continue. Dodgers money line -1.5, 2.5, and 3.5 on the run line. Dodgers only over 6.5 team total again today. Dodgers -0.5 run first 3 innings, -1.5 runs first 5 and first 7. We are throwing a little bit of a wrinkle into the batting props. So Peralta will be in today. His success against Flexen, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Outman as well as over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Freddie and Mookie over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Peralta and Outman over 1.5 total bases. Freddie and Mookie over 2.5 total bases. So remember, just for you out there, so that's a triple, homer, 3 singles, anything that equates to 3 bases or more on those particular bets. Peralta, Freeman, Outman, Betts double. Peralta, Freeman, Outman, Betts home run. Peralta, Freeman, Outman, Betts 2+ hits. So some big numbers, but they are in Colorado, so everything gets inflated no matter what pitcher's going out there. So we'll give you that Dodgers-Rockies game one more time. Dodgers money line -1.5, 2.5, 3.5 on the run line. Dodgers over 6.5 team total. Dodgers -0.5 run first 3 innings, -1.5 the front 5 and front 7 innings. Peralta and Outman over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Mookie and Freeman over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Peralta and Outman over 1.5 total bases. Freeman and Betts over 2.5 total bases. Peralta, Freeman, Outman, Betts double. Peralta, Freeman, Outman, Betts home run. Peralta, Freeman, Outman, Betts, 2+ hits. So do make sure you check out the Google Sheet that you will find in the comment section of this episode. We'll have a link to the Google Sheet that we have and all of our bets that we have placed. And there's going to be more as that Royals game opens up as well once they get done with the suspended game early. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you keep an eye out for that. Check that out. When you get into the Google Sheets, I'll give you a slight tutorial. There are 4. Sheet 1 is football last year. Sheet 2 is baseball this year. Sheet 3, football this year. And Sheet 4 for basketball this year was we already have a couple of win totals in place on basketball. And I'm sure a couple more things are going to shake up after the Dame Lillard trade yesterday. So make sure you get a chance to check those out when you get some time. Also, make sure you get subscribed and get notifications to the channel. That way, when we drop our bets, you get those first, and it should give you plenty of time to match those up with your bets, give you a ton of confidence heading to the betting app, betting window, so we all can make some money. We're here to make money. We are not here for a bunch of analysis. I could give it to you guys, to be really honest, guys and gals, but I mean, realistically, we want to know what people are placing for bets. Would you rather me give you 30 minutes analysis for one bet and then give you both sides of it? So that way you still don't know what the hell we're doing. This is what we're betting. This is what we've placed our money on. So that's what we put out on that particular one. So maybe a little bit of difference. I could give you all the research, to be really honest, but there's 20 hours a day minimum of shows on research on plays. And understandably so. Baseball-wise, we watch these 4 teams. We watch the surrounding teams as well. But we definitely keep an eye on these 4 teams and which way the trends are going with those to focus on that. So make sure, like I said, you also get our best bets when you subscribe and get notifications to the channel. So baseball best bet, that'll be out there. Obviously football best bet, NFL prop of the day every day this season. Also, you'll get like Formula 1 bets. We've been extremely hot on Formula 1 bets, English Premier League, college football, all that type of stuff. You'll get all those best bets, and you'll get them first by subscribing and getting notifications. I do appreciate everybody's support, as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.